Hi, thanks for having me. My name is Audrey, and I'm here to talk about how we can increase the mental strength and motivation of your athletes. Having a sports psychology professional available to your athletes will enhance their performance. At USA Gymnastics, elite gymnasts compete against other top athletes from around the world in fast paced, high intensity competitions. Exposure to these situations can cause a gymnast to become less motivated or unable to control their emotions. As a sports psychology professional, it is my job to ensure that the gymnasts maintain their motivation and manage their emotions effectively, all while enhancing their performance. Sports psychology does not only include factors such as motivation and emotion. However, these are two of the most influential psychological factors that athletes experience. Motivation is defined by the Handbook of Sports Psychology as the hypothetical construct used to describe the internal and/or external forces that produce the initiation, direction, intensity, and persistence of behavior. This means that if an athlete has little motivation, they may not perform to the best of their ability, take initiative to practice, and can even decrease their attendance. One theory to explain how athletes are motivated is the self-determination theory, in which an athlete can be amotivated, extrinsically motivated, or intrinsically motivated. Amotivation occurs when there is a lack of motivation or drive. Extrinsic motivation means that the athletes are motivated by external regulations such as money, sponsorships, or awards. Intrinsic motivation enables the athlete to enjoy and be satisfied with their involvement in the sport. While an athlete being motivated is great, it is possible for their motivation to hinder their performance. If a gymnast were extrinsically motivated, they would focus on enhancing their performance for the money, a sponsorship, or an award they would receive. This would decrease their intrinsic motivation, which would decrease their enjoyment and satisfaction for the sport. The hierarchical model of intrinsic and extrinsic motivation explains how mediators such as the coach's influence, success or failure of the activity, and the environment of the competition can greatly impact the performance. If a coach is too controlling, the gymnast is likely to have a decreased enjoyment level, which will cause their performance to suffer. I am proposing motivational knowledge to be incorporated into every level of gymnast and coach's training. In order for the proposed knowledge to be successful, it must be implemented at the most introductory levels of the sport and range to even the most elite athletes. The proposed training would include advising the athlete on how each motivational situation can influence their performance and help develop the knowledge that the athlete's improvements should be for themselves and their routine rather than the outcomes. Incorporating this training would enable gymnastics to remain enjoyable while the gymnast maintains satisfaction and enhances their performance. The other factor that can impact the performance is emotion. Emotions can include stress, anger, anxiety, happiness, and so on. Each athlete is different, but elite athletes should be able to control their emotions in order to perform at the highest level. The individual zone of optimal functioning model helps explain the situations in which athletes would perform best. The model has 5 basic dimensions, which include intensity, time, form, content, and context. These dimensions influence the zone of optimal functioning the athlete experiences. If an athlete has a low zone of optimal functioning, they perform better when their emotional arousal is low. An athlete with a moderate zone of optimal functioning performs best at moderate emotional arousal states, while an athlete with a high zone of optimal functioning performs best at high emotional arousal states. In order for your gymnasts to manage their emotions as best they can, I am proposing an implementation of mental training, which would prepare the athlete for the pressures of competition. Mental training enables the athlete to control their emotions, stay calm after failure, and remain focused on the task at hand. I would also incorporate techniques to reduce the emotional arousal, such as breath control, progressive relaxation, meditation, autogenic training, and biofeedback. Not every gymnast would respond to each technique, so it would be individualized to the gymnast. Practicing under conditions that are similar to the gymnastics meet would ensure that the athlete could implement the training they receive before the competition and perfect their craft. Your gymnasts need a sports psychology professional along with the motivational and emotional training I have discussed in order to succeed in a high-stress environment. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to hearing from you.